Hi there, everybody. Welcome to another album review. My name is Christian Eschbach. Hey, everybody. This is take two, and every Tracy Chapman review has had two takes at least to get through it. So, Tracy Chapman, Matters of the Heart. This is out of my Tracy's collection, and much like the other Tracy Chapmans, and this was bought for $5, much like all the other ones. I like this album better than Crossroads, which would have been the last album I would have covered. I do not like this album as much as the self-titled album. Do I think the $5 used tag is worth it? Absolutely. $5 for all the Tracy Chapman albums so far is, a good deal for a used album as far as I'm concerned. They're all in great playable condition. They're wonderful, all the good stuff that you need, right? But the content itself, it's kind of a mixed bag for me. It still feels... Now, there is a little bit of a time gap between the last album and this one. The last album was in 89. This one would have been in 91. So you can tell that some of the songs are more polished. They've had more time to be put together. You can tell some of it is definitely some newly written material, not stuff that was just left over from the first album or anything like that. There was a lot more thought put into this, and I think the switch in production is part of the reason why. This was produced by Tracey Chapman, but this time Jimmy... What is that? Iovine? I want to say that's what that is. So that's kind of really cool that way. Let's just get into the songs, all right? We got Bang, Bang, Bang. It starts off the album appropriately. It lets you know that it's a Tracy Chapman album and that we're getting a little bit more back to the original. Which leads into So, and So really grabs me for the percussion. I really enjoy the percussion on this one. It really gets me going. And it's kind of after So that I kind of tune out a little bit, because after that, the songs aren't bad. They're just not appealing to me. There are other people that are gonna love some of these songs. I guarantee it. They don't have anything that appeals to me. That's what it is. You got I Used to Be a Sailor. It's alright, but there's just nothing in it, once again, like I said, that appeals to me. I'm not saying it's a bad song, it just doesn't appeal to me. Okay. The Love That You Had. I'm not big on love songs, which is funny because this is going to come back around a little bit later on. I'm not big on love songs. This would fall into the standard type of love song I'm not big on. Woman's Work. Okay. Woman's Work, in 1991, when this came out, Woman's Work totally made sense. Totally worked as a song for me. 30 years later, and it doesn't anymore. The world's changed, it's one of those ones where it just... Right now, we live in a weird time where... And this is not to get political. I don't want to get political. Where you got that division between a traditional wife, the homemaker wife. Anybody that is a regular viewer of mine knows I am the domestic engineer in my house, okay? So let's do it this way, okay? So you have the traditional female domestic engineer versus the go out into the workforce woman, okay? As I am the domestic engineer in my house, okay, folks? Let's be very clear. This is not a judgment one way or the other, okay? I'm fine, obviously, both ways. So, and this is why for me woman's work doesn't work for me. Okay, so that's a me thing. It's not going to work for me because of the situation I'm in. It's just not going to appeal. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Man, that feels like a landmine to go around on that one. Okay. um if these are the things, yeah, short supply. I didn't mind this one too much. Kind of made me perk up a little bit. Dreaming on a World. I like this one to a degree. To a degree. Open Arms doesn't do anything for me. Matters of the Heart. Okay, so coming back around to that whole love song thing. I do like Matters of the Heart. I think Matters of the Heart actually closes out this album beautifully. It does it kind of perfect. It is, my regular viewers know how much the last track on an album means to me and how important that closing track is, you know, and that it's got to be a major hit home track to make it really, really worthwhile. Okay, that's my views on it. And Matters of the Heart really does do that for this album. It closes out this album in that perfect way where you just go, okay, I totally dig on this. I really like this. Let's go with it. And that's really cool. That's the type of thing you really want to see. That's the type of thing you really want to have, as far as I am concerned. Um, the whole way around, like I said, do I think the album's worth the $5? Sure, it's worth the $5. Do I think that this is an album everybody should own? No, not everybody should own this album. The first album, I think, is one of those albums that, quite honestly, people should go out there and pick up. You know, the self-titled album. If you enjoy the self-titled album, then explore other ones. I personally would skip Crossroads and probably go to this one. But the whole way around, if it wasn't for my Tracy, I probably never would have gotten this far. But that's just because it's... Another way to look at this as well is... I'm not huge on a lot of folk music, but I do like some folk music. And usually if I like certain folk artists, it's because I either like the lyrical content, and that's rare. That's rare. Or I like the overall sound of it and whatnot. And truly, Jewel is the only folk musician I listened to for the longest time. Admittedly, part of that was because I thought she was cute as hell back in the days. I mean, I haven't seen recent pictures of her. She could be cute as hell now still. Just, you know, back when I got into Jewel, I thought she was cute as hell, which really helped. She just had that great folksy look. And you know what? That's the thing is... with some of the pictures that are in here, I think here, like Tracey Chapman, I think in this picture right here, I think she looks cute as hell in that picture. You know, simple t-shirt, jeans, just head slightly cocked. I think she looks cute as hell in that picture. But with Jewel, I also really dig on her voice. There was just something really sweet in her voice. Made me want to hear her, listen to her coo in my ear, you know, just put my head in her lap and listen to her singing coo in my ear, you know, while she's singing. Tracey Chapman has a voice that is similar to that, but in a different way. Tracey Chapman clearly has a deeper voice. And if I were honestly, this is where it comes down to a racial divide, but not in the way you're going to think. Just a matter of life living. If I were a black girl or a black boy, you know, like if Tracey Chapman was mom, I would absolutely be like doing the same. You know, as a kid, put my head on mom's leg and you know, listen to mom sing. You know, as a significant other, same thing. You know, if I were Tracey Chapman's significant other, I would do the same thing. Put my head in her lap and, you know, listen to her sing and, you know, do that. But part of that would come from lived life experience. And I don't have an American black person live life experience, you know? Like I didn't grow up in, you know, black Chicago. I didn't grow up in, you know, black New York. I didn't grow up in, and I'm putting it that way because I know certain, like I want to say Harlem, but Harlem's not Harlem anymore. And, you know, uh, South Side, I guess, would have been for Chicago, but South Side's not South Side anymore, you know, stuff like that. So, like, I didn't grow up in those environments, and I don't know what it's like to grow up in those environments. You know, like I grew up in an area where it wasn't great, but it still wasn't like that. I've mentioned before I grew up on a street that was, you know, affectionately known as Ghetto Brook, and had regular calls to the police for shootings and stuff like that. Not in my area, but that's not the point. The point is, you didn't really honestly hear shootings. You know, they might have been down because someone was shooting in the woods or something like that, or, you know, stupid stuff like that. Usually, it wasn't like actual like drive-bys or people breaking into houses with guns. You know, so I don't have that type of lived experience for some of these songs, which, you know, is a thing. You know, like I said, as I pointed out earlier with Woman's Work, which has nothing to do with racial and is purely to do with, you know, that would be gender, you know, because of where I am in my position. I don't see it the same way. I don't have the same connection to it. So to sit there and put my head in someone's lap while they're singing something like Woman's Work, you know, you get where I'm going with this. So it's just a matter of lived life. And it's not that this is not good music. It's just music that my lived life makes it so it doesn't appeal to me as much. And that's what I kind of found with the last two albums. And lyrically, the whole way around, you know, I can appreciate the lyrical content. It's just a matter of, it's not something that, you know, appeals to me or whatever, which is kind of weird when you consider the fact that, you know, I listen to Alice Cooper. I love Alice Cooper. And let me tell you, I am not into necrophilia, folks. Okay. It's fun to joke about. It is really fun to joke about and watch people squirm. But I'm not about to go around and get into it. And I've been listening to Alice Cooper at this point for almost 40 years now. And I'm not getting into necrophilia. You know, I'm not getting into serial killing. I'm not, you know, it's fun to joke about, you know, but you don't do it. This is real life. This is serious shit. And when you get into the real life serious shit, live life experience starts making more of a difference, you know. So this is not escapism. Alice Cooper's escapism. There you go. Okay, folks. I rambled on enough on this one. Let me know what you think. That's what the comment section's for. When you're down in the comments, you'll see a couple links as well. Check out those. There's a like button, subscribe button, bell for notifications. If you want to click on those are cool as well. Peace, love, take care. See you in the next Tracey Chapman review.